All right, let's get right to it. This is a question that comes up at every gun counter and every hunting camp in America. It's the ultimate what if. If you had to pick one rifle caliber, just one, to handle everything this country can throw at you. We're talking about covering the ground from a whitetail stand in the timber all the way out to a long-range shot on elk in the Rockies. And maybe, just maybe, having enough power in reserve for bear country. This one round, it would have to be accurate. It would have to have serious terminal performance. And critically, you'd need to be able to find ammo for it pretty much anywhere. If someone said you get one rifle for the rest of your life, this is the caliber that has to be a contender. So, we're going to break down the top 5. We're going to look at what they do well and where they fall short. And I'll tell you right now, the number one all-around American hunting caliber, it just might surprise you. Let's dig in. Number 5. The .270 Winchester. Kicking off our list is an absolute American legend. This cartridge has been dropping game cleanly since the 1920s. We are talking about the .270 Winchester. This round fires a .277-inch diameter bullet. You're typically looking at loads between 130 and 150 grains. For decades, this was the benchmark for a high-velocity, flat-shooting cartridge. It's basically a .30-06 Springfield case necked down to hold that smaller, faster, more aerodynamic bullet. And the result is just performance. You take a common 130 grain load, you're easily looking at velocities right around 3,000 feet per second. Now, what does that mean for you, the hunter? It means less holdover. It means less guesswork on those longer shots. This is the cartridge that shines in open country. When you need to take a deer or an antelope out at 3 or even 400 yards, the .270 delivers. Let's talk recoil. It's a solid push. It is not a sharp, painful crack. It's something that just about any shooter can learn to manage well. That's exactly why it's been the first real hunting rifle for so many young hunters over the years. Every major manufacturer, Winchester, Remington, Ruger, they've all built iconic bolt-action rifles for this cartridge. Now, let's be real. Is this what I'd grab for a Yukon moose or a big coastal grizzly? Absolutely not. It's just not in that class. But for the vast majority of hunting that happens in North America, the .270 Winchester is a proven, decisive, and incredibly effective tool. It's a classic that still hits with absolute authority. Number 4. The 7mm Remington Magnum. Next, we're stepping up the power. We are moving into Magnum territory. This is the 7mm Remington Magnum. This round has been the king of the open plains since the 1960s. It sends a .284-inch bullet downrange. Common weights are going to be in that 140 to 175 grain sweet spot. This cartridge is famous for two things: incredible long-range accuracy and just devastating terminal performance. With muzzle velocities easily pushing past 3,000 feet per second, this is the prescription strength medicine you want for big mule deer, elk, or even moose across wide open country. The 7mm Rem Mag shoots even flatter than the .270. It is an absolute master of those shots beyond 400 yards. When you have to reach out across a canyon and deliver a massive amount of energy, this is the tool you want in your hands. But there's no free lunch. The downside? Recoil. You are absolutely going to feel it. It is a significant step up from the .270. It can be a real handful if you're not experienced with Magnum recoil. Ammunition is also going to be more expensive and just not as readily available as some of the others on this list. But for that dedicated Western hunter who needs a cartridge that can cheat the wind and defy gravity, the raw, long-range performance of the 7mm Remington Magnum keeps it in the top tier. Number 3. The .300 Winchester Magnum. All right, at number 3, we are bringing out the heavy hitters. This is the .300 Winchester Magnum. When you talk about raw, unfiltered knockdown power for big, tough game, the discussion pretty much begins and ends with this cartridge. Introduced in the 1960s, the .300 Win Mag throws a .308-inch bullet. You're looking at heavy for caliber options 165 up to 200 grains, or even more, and it sends them screaming anywhere from 2,900 to 3,200 feet per second. This is the preferred choice for guides and hunters who are specifically targeting the largest, toughest animals in North America. We're talking elk. We're talking moose. We are talking big bears. It delivers a massive energy payload, and it maintains that energy way out there 500 yards and beyond. That classic belted Magnum case, it's designed for one thing: maximum performance. It ensures that even on a thick-skinned, heavy-boned animal, you get the deep penetration and the terminal performance you need for a quick, ethical harvest. But that power has a price. The recoil is stout. Let's just be honest. This is not a cartridge for a new shooter or anyone who's sensitive to recoil. Ammo cost is high. And if you're just hunting whitetail in the woods, it is way more gun than you need. It's absolute overkill. But if your goal is to have one rifle that you can confidently and ethically use to take anything that walks on this continent, the 300 Winchester Magnum is one of the best answers you're ever going to find. Number 2. The 308 Winchester. Coming in at our number 2 spot is the king of efficiency and versatility, the 308 Winchester. This cartridge has been a global standard for both military use and civilian hunting since the 1950s. And there is a very good reason for that. It fires that same .308-inch bullet as the Big Mag, but in a much smaller, more efficient package. You're typically running 150 to 180 grain bullets at velocities in the 26 to 2800 feet per second range. The 308 is loved by everyone because it strikes a perfect balance. It has very effective power. It is known for exceptional inherent accuracy, and it has very, very manageable recoil. This is an ideal cartridge for deer, for wild hogs, for black bear, and yes, even for elk inside of 300 yards. Because it's also a NATO standard round ammunition is everywhere. It is some of the most affordable and widely available center-fire rifle ammo you can possibly buy. You can find a rifle in 308 from literally every manufacturer on Earth. Bolt actions, semi-autos, lever guns, you name it, they make it. The recoil is so much milder than the Magnums we just talked about. It's frankly a joy to shoot at the range. And that low recoil means you can make faster, more accurate follow-up shots if you ever need to. Now, look, it does not have the flat-shooting long-range legs of a 7mm Magnum, and it doesn't have the brute force knockdown power of a 300 Win Mag. But for 90%, maybe even 95% of the hunting that most people actually do, its reliability, its affordability, and its flawless field performance make the 308 Winchester one of the greatest hunting cartridges ever designed. Number 1. The 30-06 Springfield. And the number 1, the top all-around hunting caliber you will ever need in America, is the undisputed, reigning, and still defending champion, the 30-06 Springfield. This is more than just a cartridge. Introduced way back in 1906, this is a piece of American history. It served our troops through 2 world wars, and it has almost certainly taken more North American game than any other cartridge in existence. Period. It fires that same .308-inch bullet as the 308. It uses the same popular weights, 150 to 180 grains, but it uses a larger case, which means more powder. That larger case capacity pushes those same bullets about 100 to 200 feet per second faster than the 308, and that extra velocity gives it just a little bit more. A flatter trajectory, more energy when it arrives on target. The 30-06 can and has ethically and effectively handled every single game animal in North America. Deer, elk, moose, bear. You name it, the 06 has done it. But its true genius is its incredible unmatched versatility. Because this round has been with us for well over a century, the variety of factory ammunition is just staggering. You can find light, fast loads for varmints. You can find standard loads for deer. And you can find heavy for caliber, deep penetrating bonded bullets for the biggest and toughest game. Iconic rifles like the Winchester Model 70 and the Remington 700 were practically built around this cartridge. The recoil? It's noticeable. You know you're shooting a real rifle. But it is absolutely manageable for most shooters. It is the perfect middle ground right between the softer shooting 308 and the heavy thumping Magnums. For one all-around do-it-all bet-your-hunt-on-it caliber that has been proven in every field and every mountain range on this continent for over 100 years, the 30-06 Springfield is still the king. So, that's our list. These are 5 cartridges that have absolutely earned their reputations the hard way out in the field. Now, I know there are some great rounds we didn't get to. If you've got a personal favorite that you think should have made this list, Get down in those comments and let us know what it is and why you trust it. If you found this breakdown useful and got something out of it, do us a huge favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more content just like this, and we will see you on the next one.